This is my 1989 land yacht Airstream. It's one of very few made. I think they only made 280, 290 of them. It is not an Argosy. It is actually aluminum. The official land yacht does have a Kool-Seal, which is a rubber insulation on the flat roof, which helps prevent leaks as well as keeping everything cool when it's supposed to be cool and hot when it's supposed to be hot. Got the furnace right here. You notice a little tape right here on my awning. It's actually just to keep that from bouncing. One of my pieces fell off because I didn't secure it properly. I'm just going to buy a new part. Really not that hard. Zip-Dee's pretty good stuff. My awning does work. I think it's 20 foot. This is a 31-foot Airstream. It's blue and white. It's really quite pretty. I don't often put it out because I'm so short and it's just a pain in the butt for me. I did upgrade the connector here at the end. I'm going to say I did. I mean my dad, who's a professional electrician, just because the electrical was no longer safe. It was all corroded, being 30 years old. Here in the back window you can see this little shiny insulation. I actually have a piece cut for every single window, including the door window, for added privacy. But more or less I bought it one winter in an ice storm, just insulated all my windows, and it kept everything a lot warmer. So all that's stored under the bed, lays down flat, takes up no space, no weight. Just when you need it, if it gets too hot or too cold, wherever you're at, makes about a 10-degree difference. It's pretty nice. These tires are relatively new. Say relatively new, they're a couple of years old, still have a really good tread on them. Generally when I'm traveling, I travel someplace new, stay there about 6 months, move, stay there 6 months. I don't do a lot of stop and go, so they haven't gotten too much use. Here's where your deep cell batteries are stored, and they're probably double what you actually need for capacity. Excuse me, for what's recommended. But I just went ahead and bought them because I got a good deal, and makes the battery just, you know, they just last forever. Got a little outside storage right here. It goes under the bed. Manual on the feet. All the feet are in good condition. Here you can see I was starting to see about polishing up this top because it looks like this on the bottom. It's got this little white coat. I messaged Airstream, and first of all, they were baffled that one of these still existed because they were impressed. They recommended leaving it painted, not polishing it, but you can definitely polish the top. I went ahead and looked up all the different ways to polish it based on the particular metal gauge. Down here is where your 2 LP gas tanks are stored. They are 230 gallons out of recertified in 2013, so they're still good for a few more years. They are the original tanks, so they're pretty heavy duty. Here's that test strip for stripping off that clear coat that's not looking so hot anymore. And the interior is mostly original. There are a few upgrades, like I put in a different kind of linoleum floor, so it was consistent throughout. This is original. This is actually a table, pulls out to about here. There's storage under the couch, original upholstery. Storage up above. There's a slight tear in the upholstery right here. I usually just keep a blanket on it and try not to tear it any further. This rolls forward. There's more storage here. Here comes a full-size bed. I like the height of these armrests. I'll lay down here with my head on that, watching TV, and just fall asleep and wake up a couple hours later. Under here is the only bit of rot I've got because I can't get to it to repair it. It's just in that little corner. I found the leak on the outside. Actually, let me show you what I did, because I went ahead and just did it all the way around. It's hard to tell, but all the way around I just went ahead and put all on these seams, went ahead and put a little clear coat of waterproofing just to be sure. It was only leaking in that corner that I could tell, but I just went ahead and did the whole thing just so I could sleep better at night. Got a double farm sink. This folds out, becomes extra counter space. Storage under here. Stove does work. Oven does work. Works quite well actually. Have to keep an eye on your cookies. Vent works. Light works on the vent. These all light up sometimes. This is kind of hit and miss. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. You just kind of have to know how full or how empty it gets. This is a microwave. You can't run the microwave at the same time as the roof AC unit. Roof AC unit is the original unit, but I did put a new motor on it this past summer, 2015. You can't turn it on high or you'll freeze to death. No joke. It doesn't play. This table actually folds down, sits here on these little ledges, and put these 2 cushions down. This becomes a bed also. Right over here is where you winterize. And my dad, who is an electrician, installed this extra plug panel here for me. Because most often I put my computer here and my printer here, which I have stored under there. And use this as my workspace, because this is I work and live in here full time. Down here is actually the new alternator converter power thingamajig. I'll put all the specs on. All brand new. I put it in the same time as the motor just so everything was fresh in the electrical. I like to have all my electrical be new. I love old and vintage things. I don't love old and vintage electrical. Got a nice little knife rack, spice rack. My mom thinks this is weird. I find it handy as far as keeping your knives clean and keeping them available. Got a nice little dual fridge here. On the top you got a good sized freezer and a pretty decent sized storage space down here. Got all that in there. It can run off of gas. I got it turned off right now. You can run it off of gas or electrical. My geeky photos will not be going with it. Got a nice double mirror here. Slides open. And it's a really good sized closet. Cedar flooring. Water pump stored back in here. Has a new filter on it put in last year. Got an extra filter just in case. Haven't had any issues with that. Here's my bathroom. Got some lovely mirrors up here. Storage. This one is single for your hairsprays and tall items. Up here it's double for your shorter items. I almost always keep that window closed. Got a nice little sink. Your toilet. Your shower. With a nice little seat. Pretty comfy. And my personal favorite thing, an actual door. So you got that extra privacy when you need it if you're sharing the camper with someone. Got a door to the bedroom, but it's a fold-out door. Not the best for privacy, but if you just want a little changing area, it does a pretty good job. It snaps closed. They snap closed as well. Keep everything from shifted in transit. Over here, got an extra mirror. This actually folds down. Put a TV. I usually put a laptop on there, so you can lay down in bed and watch everything. You do have, same as with the entertainment system over here, you got a nice little jack to plug into the cable, and that actually plugs in at the outside. And I think you can have two things going on two separate TVs. I've never tested that, but it's in the owner's manual, which I have the original owner's manual. If that's something that you're interested in, you can use. I just use a Roku, and I don't fool with cable at all. All my jewelry is organized. Cat scratching post, because, you know, had a cat at one point. Full wraparound windows, which is quite nice. I usually keep them closed, again, for privacy issues. Full-size bed. For some reason it stopped. Got a full-size mattress because I like to be more comfortable. We do have one of the ends, bed ends. I'm missing the other one. I don't know where it went. Somebody, when I bought it, was refurbishing it, and it was never to be found. Because all of this here is all new flooring. As you notice, this is not the original ceiling. I've gone in and put a little pattern on top and rebuilt the ceiling. It's kind of nice to sit here at night. You can look out and see the stars. But all this had to be rebuilt because it had been gutted. I also put in 2 reading lights, LEDs, so they're just a little bit brighter, a little bit more efficient than the old school ones. There's a plug, double plug on each side of the bed, so if you want to use that, that's great. Again, I use an electric heater. I have an electric heater and filter up front because it cuts down on my propane usage. This is my first non-original light. Put an LED in. Master plan was to slowly swap out all the lights as they basically stopped working. Bulbs are getting a little harder to find, and LEDs are expensive to buy, but pay out in the long end. Just as money afforded. Just refurbishing it. So the reason I'm selling, basically, I am moving to a part of the country where it's no longer feasible to live in my RV full time, as it will be too cold. And I really hope that you enjoy my home. It's been my home for a few years, and hadn't had too many complaints out of the old girl. I think she was just happy to be rescued, and she's just in pretty good shape. She always gets stairs and stops traffic because no one's ever seen a square one before. One thing I love about the square one, you have a little bit more headroom than the round Airstream, and real wood cabinets is also plush. She's just in good shape, and I love her. So she's looking for a new home. Oh, and of course, so you don't lose your bottle opener. Really important things in camping. And if you have any questions, just message me. And I'll put the specs for the electrical and the other gear on